Hello YouTube, Andrew Sellers here. Welcome once again to Dragon's Dojo Gaming. And as you can see, I am about to profile yet another Flagburg deck profile. However, this is one that I actually feel is the best build I have made between the three that I have posted on YouTube. Like, it's doing me so many favors. And yeah, so I'm about to get straight to the deck profile. First up, for grade zeros, I'm running four of the normal heal triggers. As I've stated in the other videos, I'm not too big about the effect heal triggers when it comes to this deck. I just prefer to run my 15Ks. 7 critical triggers. I took Abyss Temptation out for this guy because I like his art more, and he's also more fitting of a card for Flagburg. I also have a Grave Zorga deck that I'm using Abyss Temptation in. The Zorga deck I have is currently incomplete, but once I complete it, I will eventually make a deck profile of that, so stay tuned for that. 4 draw triggers. The deck's really good with helping maintain your hand size, and funny enough, I usually damage check these more than drive check them. I just have stupid luck with damage checking the draw triggers. 1 over trigger, self-explanatory why it's in there. Next up, for grade 1s, I run 3 regular PGs with a copy of Elemental Sanctitude. Sanctitude's there for triple drive decks and for the Flagburg matchup. And it's self-explanatory why the Stoicheia triggers are in here. Next up, 3 copies of Prize Trident. I used to run 4, but ever since I started running the card at 3, I've been seeing it at more convenient times. I mean, I've been seeing it when I ran it at 4, but I've been seeing it too much. Thanks to having Prize Trident at 3 now, I'm seeing it at times where I actually need the card. And I really appreciate that I don't have to see too much of it anymore. Next up, 2 copies of a personal tech choice, Armantis. I run 2 of this guy because when he's placed, you can choose one of your units and it gets plus 5k till end of turn. It's pretty much there to help your Ascendance Assault, to help with boosting Ascendance Assault on turns that you don't have the Persona ride. Now for grade 2s. And honestly, the only grade 2 I run in the main deck, 4 copies of Ascendance Assault. I used to run him in the ride deck, but in my opinion, honestly, he's really bad in there. I used to run the Sailor Engine, but I've stopped running it because the deck actually needs a lot of soul to do things with specific cards in here. Mainly with Spiritual Body and Inlet Pulse. And the counterblasting with Prize Trident being in there is really easy to recover from. Because once I get my 5th attack in, I can just countercharge with Prize Trident after counterblasting with this guy. One card I have played in my old build that I don't play in one of my old builds that I don't play anymore is I forget her name, but she's the sailor that restands with a Soul Blast after her 2nd attack. I'm not really a fan of that card because she's pretty much, in my opinion personally, she's pretty much a nerfed version of Inlet Pulse and Ascendance Assault. And she also takes up too much soul, with having other cards that can Soul Blast and do what she does better. But that's just my personal experience with her. Now for grade 3s. 3 copies of Flagburg. He's the main, self-explanatory why he's in the deck. Because he's the main unit. He's the reason why the whole deck functions. 3 copies of Shelling Cannon Dragon. When he's in the back row at the beginning of your battle phase while your opponent's on grade 3 or higher, you counterblast 1 and give Shelling Cannon plus 10 for the rest of the turn. And finally, for units, the best card in the deck, 4 Inlet Pulse. Self-explanatory why he's in here. One card I did play in my previous build that I actually don't play anymore is Shelling Bomber Dragon. Reason I don't play him anymore is because his cost is way too heavy. Like, you have to do 5 or more attacks in order for his skill to go off. It may work with Prize Trident, but in my opinion, not with Bomber Dragon. And now for the order cards. 4 copies of what I personally think is the best order card in this deck. 4 copies of Spiritual Body Condensation. He's there to help get out your Inlet Pulses and your Ascendance Assaults, mainly your Inlet Pulses from drop, and help consistently get your attacks each turn. And it makes the unit it resurrects stronger too. And you can add it back from drop with Husk Dragon's effect. Next up, 2 copies of Nectar of Sensationalism. I personally only really like the card at 1 because it's a very situational card and I rarely ever use it. I only feel like it's really good for endgame situations. And I'm thinking about taking this one out for a copy of the Zorga Order. The one that you mill 3 cards from the top of your deck and choose one to Superior Call from. I'm thinking about taking out one of my Nectar of Sensationalisms for a copy of that card. And finally, 1 copy of Advance of Great Cause. Great guarding card in my opinion. Like, having a free 20k shield if you have a Flagburg unit on board is really nice. And finally, the Red deck. 1 of any Stoicheia starter, Rancor Chain, Husk Dragon, and Flagburg. At one point, I took the Zorga ride line out, but I tossed it back in because it helps you, because Flagburg's a combo-based deck, and you want this deck to combo out faster with the Zorga ride line. Another really good benefit to this deck is that if you choose to go second in matchups that benefit it going second more, which is against a lot of decks in my opinion, you get to draw 3, you get to draw 1 from riding on top of your starter, and then you draw 2, and I run 8 order cards in my deck, so I'm more likely to open up with order cards than I am to not. Very rarely with my new build have I had to discard 2. Have I not opened up with orders. So that is it for my Flagburg deck. Thanks for watching once again, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the video. I was gonna upload an updated version of my premium Eradicator deck today, but unfortunately at Versus I have lost 2 of my cards that were in the deck. Nothing expensive, like I only lost a Demolition Dragon and a Sparkbraze Dragon. However, my good buddy Ezekiel Zier's has extras of those for me that he's going to hand to me the next time he sees me, which I still really appreciate him doing. So just losing those 2 wasn't really a big deal. Granted, it was rather annoying to find out, but I appreciate that Ezekiel is giving me extras for those the next time, replacements for those the next time he sees me. Also, another thing I want you guys to look forward to. So, last Monday at Versus, I have fought against Andrew Kondrick. I met him at Versus of all places that he would go to, surprisingly. And he and I had ourselves a friendly, casual premium, best of 3 premium match. There's going to be 3 separate videos of them. It's going to be of me playing Eradicators and of him playing Luard. We played so that he could get practice for Worlds. And then after he gets done from Worlds, I'm going to be uploading those videos. Because I promised him that I wouldn't upload videos of the card fight we had until after he plays at Worlds. I wish you, Andrew Kondrick, the best of luck at Worlds. I also appreciate you and the guys from Kingslayer supporting my channel. Hope you have a nice day, everyone. God bless.